All right. What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, still absolutely buzzing from last
Unbelievable,
night.
yeah, man. Not many hours sleep right now. That's the truth. But what a win that was yesterday.
Yeah, getting back at what was it, 4 or 5 in the morning, absolutely buzzing.
Still can't believe the scenes yesterday.
Absolute scenes at Old Trafford. The Tottenham, the Yid
You know what I
Army
mean? You know what I mean?
completely took over Old Trafford, and it was a sight to behold, I tell you. After going up so many times and just failing.
Defeat after defeat.
Defeat after defeat,
But
no goal. It was just
Here we are.
absolutely insane.
The day after the night before.
But can we just take a moment for my brother Simeon, who took Lucas Moura out his fantasy team 2 weeks ago?
We have a moment's silence. Last week I took him out, put in Dele Alli. What an error that was. Oh well. Well, you live and you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
how
Is
it
he
is.
going back in?
He's going back in for sure. Luke, he's playing up front. Are you mad? As a midfielder, he's a midfielder on fantasy. He's playing up front. No brainer there.
Well, anyway, let's get straight into the player ratings. We start off with Hugo Lloris. We gave him an 8.
Yeah.
How do you think he played?
I thought he did everything I was asked of him. I think he did really well. I think, in fact, he wasn't tested too much, although United obviously created quite a few chances, especially in the first half. Hugo wasn't tested too much. However, I would say there was one, I thought, phenomenal save he made from Lukaku. Straight after we scored the first goal, United nearly hit back immediately. And if Lukaku scores that goal, makes it 1-1, it's a different game.
Do you expect Hugo to make that save?
That was a good save, man. It was a one-handed. Lukaku's in a good position. It was a decent angle. It wasn't like the best save ever, but it was a really good save. I thought it was a really good save, and it was an important save.
But
And I think it was
if
a
that
crucial
goal
time.
goes in, though, are you blaming that on Hugo?
No, I think it was arrowing in the corner. It's a good finish. So I wouldn't blame on Hugo. And I think he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders coming into this game. Obviously, everything that happened last week with the drink driving and people questioning his captaincy, people questioning whether he deserves a place in the starting 11. I think he answered all the questions. Pochettino answered all those questions yesterday.
And credit to the Tottenham hierarchy and Pochettino for keeping that kind of behind closed doors and not letting it affect anything on the pitch.
100%. And you saw at the end of the game, the hug Pochettino gave Hugo Lloris. Clearly, everything is well there.
And the fans also serenading him quite a few times during the game.
Clearly, we know this is the actions that he took last week.
Obviously, we don't condone anything he's
They were
done.
inexcusable, but it's out of character, I think it's fair to say. And Pochettino said he never considered leaving Hugo out after what happened. He said Hugo suffered enough from what's been going on. So there you have it. Hugo Lloris, we gave him an 8. I think coming for crosses, I thought he did well. Corner kicks as well. I thought he was good at punching the ball out. I think it was all round good display from Hugo. No complaints.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
So Kieran Trippier, moving on, we gave him a 6. A bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance from Kieran. I thought at the back, I thought he struggled quite a bit.
He was getting done quite a few times from Luke Shaw, who I thought had a fantastic game yesterday.
Yeah, really stand up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and kind of showed up Danny Rose a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe he's saying that he's here. He's ready to be challenging for that England spot to Danny, and I think he gave Kieran a real tough time down that left wing. He got through a couple times, getting some crosses in. But saying that, I thought Kieran, he did get an assist for the corner. He played the corner to Kane.
What a ball that was!
Lovely corner from him, and also he set up the second goal. He played in Ericsson, who squared it to Lucas to make it 2-1, and also leading to the corner, he played it again to Ericsson, who found it free. So he was having a few.
But we've said this before, kind of, Trippier's much better in a back 5 than he is in a back 4. And you could see that defensively yesterday, because I thought he was getting caught out quite a bit.
Yeah, he did get caught quite out. I'd give Trippier a 7. I was debating whether to give him a 7 or a 6. I thought in possession, it was classic Trippier. In possession, fantastic. On the ball, phenomenal. I think he's probably... Is there a better right back in the league on the ball than Kieran Trippier? It's hard to pick one up.
I don't think so. And
in terms of passing ability, crossing ability, all that stuff, I don't know if there is one.
There isn't, but he just needs to get just a bit better at his defensive game to be the kind of complete fullback.
Yeah, that's the truth. Whether he's ever going to hit that, we'll never know. But he is excellent going forward. We all know that. He's become one of the best right backs in the Premier League, that's for sure. But there's no doubt about it. He got a bit of a tough time at at times yesterday. So that's why we gave him a 6.
All right, so we move on to Jan Vertonghen. Jan, we gave a 7, but I feel he even could have been an 8 yesterday.
The reason I would put him as a 7 is I thought he got bullied a bit in the first half by Lukaku. I felt like they played it long to Lukaku many times, and he was winning it every time, and it was always on Jan. And that's the period we were struggling the most. I'm not putting it all down to Jan.
No, but as a whole, his game as a whole, I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Once he got control of Lukaku, after about half an hour, I thought he was phenomenal. I agree with that. And he played that lovely ball in the first half, didn't he? Little dink to Harry Kane, who just missed it, and it fell to Lucas. But that was pure Jan Vertonghen, always striding in midfield. I love watching him play.
It's like, since we've been doing player ratings, I don't think this is probably one of the lowest ratings we've given him, and he was absolutely superb.
He was fantastic. I just thought in that first half an hour, he was one of the main reasons why we struggled so much. I thought United were getting all the second balls in and around the penalty area and really pressing us high, and Jan was losing out a lot.
There are actually a couple of times where he would clear the ball to kind of a United player as well in that first half. Yeah,
we struggled. Let's be honest, we struggled to play the ball out. And he was part of that, and he calmed down second half. I thought him, obviously, and his partner Toby, who we'll talk about in a minute. Their partnership together is phenomenal. I thought it was great to see it back to how it used to be, especially in their second half. But I just felt like Lukaku got the better of him a bit in that first half.
Yep. So move on to Toby.
Toby, we gave an 8. Now, what a performance. What a performance. So good to have him back. It was a big call, really big call by Pochettino to leave out Sanchez, because he hasn't left him out in a while. You know, since January, really, Sanchez has been playing throughout, ever since the whole controversy of Toby's contract.
But it's actually interesting to see where this actually leaves Sanchez now for the rest of the season.
100%. It's a dilemma for Pochettino, because whether we play a back, I don't know whether we play a back 5, or because clearly Jan Vertonghen and Toby are our best partnership. That's no doubt about that. But Sanchez has been great since he's come in, hasn't he? You can't complain.
He's been great. Yeah, he has been great. There has been a few lapses, but you expect that from a young defender of his age.
Exactly.
But what a better two players to learn off than Jan and Toby.
Agreed. And if they play the game the right way as well. They're just such amazing ball players. And Toby, he was a touch of class yesterday. He really was. That second half, he had Sanchez in his pocket. Those challenges he was making was unbelievable. There was one challenge the referee even gave it a goal kick because he thought he didn't think Toby got a touch on it. It was when Lukaku played it to Lingard, and Lingard looked like Lingard skied it over the bar. Toby actually got a toe to that and hit it over the bar. What a challenge that was. They could have made it 2-1 as soon as we made it 2-0. His passing range is, as usual, phenomenal. I think I'm so happy he stayed at the club. I think it was a big statement of Pochettino putting him in there, him and Jan together in our biggest test of the season so far. And I think it's a statement saying Toby's here, he's back, and he's a pro. He's going to be playing week in, week out, and I think he's going to be a main part of our season now. Well,
I hope we can get our defence back to what it was pretty much 2 seasons ago now, with Toby at the back playing week in, week out.
There's one thing that we'll have to say. I know we've won our opening 3 games, but how many chances have we conceded in those opening 3 games? It's a lot. That's something we have to sort out. But hopefully...
Toby's just bedding back in. I think kind of in that first half yesterday, we conceded a lot of chances. But in that second half, I don't think we conceded many chances.
No, we shut up shop pretty well.
There was that Pogba chance right at the beginning of the second half.
That was a 25-yard shot. And then there was that Lingard chance where Toby got a touch on it. So apart from that, there wasn't much. As I said, we did shut up shop, but we were class in that second half, and Toby and Jan were right at the forefront of that.
So moving on to Danny Rose. Danny Rose, we gave a 5.
That's the dog thing, lads. Love that. He's actually out for a walk at the moment.
That's the truth. Like, in the first half, quality-wise, he was really bad. I thought, giving the ball away literally every single time he got it. Yeah. P.S. Don't tell Grandpa we're saying this. But second half, I thought he grew into the game. He was much better in the second half than he was in the first half.
Probably like most of our players.
But still, quality-wise, I think Davis is probably our best left-back on current form.
I'd have to agree with you based on this performance. I think it was great. I think it was interesting that Pochettino chose this game to put Rose in. I thought there was a reason for that. I think Poch was trying to say something by putting Rose in, whether that Rose has been really impressing in training recently, or that he's just trying to say Rose is here, he's not leaving, he's going to be a big part of our season. I didn't think he gave the best performance, in all honesty. I'm trying to remember any time that he was in the final third of in United's final third and putting any crosses in, creating chances. Barely any time, really.
But
think of the amount of times, Luke Shaw was striding forward. I didn't really see much of that from Rose. And to be honest, he could have cost us a goal when he played that back pass to Lukaku big time. He was really lucky that with that
how
Lukaku,
the hell did Lukaku miss that?
We're lucky Lukaku doesn't have a right foot, because if he did, it should be 1-0 right there. And it's a different game if we go 1-0 down at Old Trafford. So Rose got very lucky in that sense. But he did give it his all. I don't think it was an attitude problem or anything like that. Maybe he just needs a few more games to get back in his rhythm, but I don't think he was at his best, unfortunately.
His aggressiveness was absolutely on point. Like he was going into those challenges like the old Rose that we know. It was just his kind of.
I think
his passing was
yeah.
awful. That's
off.
the truth. That's it. His passing was the main problem.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he got the ball, he pretty much passed.
Feta D says Danny Rhodes seemed nervous from kickoff. Seemed better in the second half, but I've heard Davis personally. Interesting.
But the truth is that he got shown up by Luke Shaw. There was a lot of rumours that we would swap Luke Shaw for Rose, and if you were judging on that performance, you would say that was actually a good deal to do.
Luke Shaw for Rose. Well, yeah, true. If Shaw's going to be performing like that, maybe it would have been a good time to swap him. But we're always hoping Rose is going to get back to the form that we know and love from him. But it's been a while now, so we're still kind of waiting for it. But I think, as I said before, I think it was a statement from Poch saying Rose is going to be here. He's going to be a big part of our season. So
Simeon for Spurs captaincy.
I'll put my name forward. Well, listen, Hugo might lose it, so you never know. But yeah, hopefully Rose will return back to form, but wasn't his best.
All right.
Eric Dyer. Move on to Eric Dyer. We gave him a 7. I thought in the first half, especially, he struggled a bit. I think we lost the midfield battle in that first half. I think United kind of did a job on us in terms of the head.
But he still did well in breaking up the play.
Yeah, he did all right. I don't know about in the first half. I don't think he was getting back enough. I don't think he was in the right positions. But I felt like second half he was there in and around things. He was pretty good. I thought we took control of the midfield back in the second half. That was a big reason why.
I think that was mainly due to Dembele though, as opposed to Dyer. Maybe
you're right there. But I felt in terms of United had a midfield of Pogba, Fred, and Matic. They had Herrera in the centre back role.
Yeah.
And I felt like they overpowered us in that first half. We struggled to get out. They were marking man for man, and Dyer wasn't really making any space for himself. I find that a problem with Dyer a few times, but I felt like in the second half he kind of had that aggression back, and I felt like he was part of the reason we won that midfield battle.
I think it also points out how much we would need Wanyama as well. Wanyama would have been perfect in that game yesterday. I felt him alongside Dembele. Just Wanyama just chopping everyone down.
I forget how good Wanyama was. But anyway, this is about Dyer. That one thing also, I was about to say, Dyer, in terms of his passing range, which Joe Vecino just mentioned, I don't remember... Vecchione, sorry about the accent. But, pronunciation. Dyer's passing range, I don't remember too much team passes from him yesterday. You get the occasional long-ranging pass, you get the occasional cross from the side, accurate cross.
The thing is with Dyer as well, a lot of his work sometimes goes unnoticed.
For sure. And he was very instrumental winning the ball back yesterday, but I thought first half he struggled a bit, but I could say the same about the whole team, to be fair. But we gave him a 7 because he improved.
All right, we move on to Moussa Dembele. We gave him an 8. First half wasn't kind of the best of Moussa. I thought he still had a good first half. He like you said before, we kind of lost that midfield battle.
He was probably one of our better players, though.
He was
in the first half.
He was still up to his old Moussa Dembele tricks, but that second half, he just took control of that game. That middle of the park, he owned that. No one could get the ball off him. He was striding past players. He was starting attacks. Just absolutely sensational in that second. If he performed in that second half, in the first half,
We
10
wouldn't
out
have
of
had a
10.
problem.
10
Yeah,
out of 10.
he was phenomenal that second half. Pogba couldn't get near him. I think they really struggled to contain him and his retention of the ball. I thought he was really instrumental in our counter attacks as well.
Yes, White, we can see your comments.
Yeah, we can. We're not seeing. There's a lot of them, so we're not seeing all of them, but we see most of them. Yeah. Is that double or triple? I think that's double. I'm not sure. I'll have another look. But I thought, listen, the big question mark about Dembele is, can he last the season? It's always about his fitness levels. The truth is he played 90 minutes yesterday, so maybe that's a good sign.
It was his first start of the season as well.
Yeah.
I think Poch is really going to use him like that this season.
Has to. Dembele is going to be instrumental for us this season if we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, and he's going to be central to that. The more minutes Dembele can get on the pitch, the better. And it bodes well that he played 90 minutes in his first start yesterday. It's a big moment for him. So hopefully he can carry on, getting those minutes under his belt. And if he can become a more consistent performer, then maybe we didn't need to sign a centre mid in the summer. We'll see.
But either way, what a player he is.
What a player.
What a player.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Can you name me a player in the world that does what he does?
Not better than him. Definitely not. I can't think of a player who retains the ball better than Dembele.
What a guy. What a guy. I love him so much.
Can you see him come on the stream? Yeah.
If you're watching Expressions, call Simeon.
Give us a call, don't mind. Dele Alli, next up. We gave him a 6. Not his best performance.
Probably his worst of the season so far.
Yeah, because he's actually had a really good start to the season. But again, it's one of those forms he was getting in the right positions, but he just didn't make the most of them.
He was a bit wasteful in possession, wasn't he?
And it wasn't just wasting possession. He had some really promising opportunities that he didn't make the most of.
He went past De Gea at one stage.
Yeah, that was one of the worst, his most guilty opportunity there. Went past De Gea and just kind of panicked and didn't make the most of it.
It seemed like he panicked quite a lot on the ball yesterday.
There was another moment, he tackled Matic, went through one-on-one, and then kind of dilly-dallied on the ball too much, got caught in two minds, and next morning took the ball off him. There was another chance, he had nearly had a shot from the left-hand side of the penalty area, took too long, and Smalling got back. So a few promising opportunities which he didn't make the most of.
One thing I would say about Dele, what was good yesterday, I think he won the ball back quite a few times from Man United kind of playing it out of defence, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And but apart from that, it wasn't his greatest game. Like I said before, he was kind of panicking on the ball, which you don't really see from Dele too often.
Yeah, he made a few things happen. It wasn't an awful performance by any means. I think he did a good job for the team. But in terms of just, Dele really makes his money when he's in those positions, in those final third positions and making the most of them. And I just felt like yesterday he wasted a few too many. And it's, Dele relies on those situations. And he didn't make the most of them.
If he scores that goal when he goes round to here, we're probably talking about a different a 7.
Yeah, probably 7 or an 8. But, because of the way Dele plays, he relies on those just specific situations.
If you could beat any animal, what would you be? I'd be a toucan.
You'd be a toucan. I'll be toucan too. That's how it is.
All right, so we move on to big Christian Eriksen. We gave him an 8. I thought he was absolutely imperative to how he played yesterday. Yeah. He was dropping back, starting those attacks every single time, winning the ball back as well in midfield, spraying the ball. His passing range yesterday was absolutely insane. He is just central to the way we attack and the way we play. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday. And we did say before the game, like, it's so important for Eriksen to have a big game, because if he doesn't play well, then a lot of the team doesn't play well, especially Harry Kane or any of our strikers.
I thought he was absolutely amazing yesterday, and I was making a big deal before the game. It's about time we go away to a big team and really show our quality, really stamp our authority. It's about time we don't hide in these situations. And I think Eriksen more than most has sometimes been guilty of it in a way in big games.
You say that, but he scored big goals for us.
I'm saying away from home.
He scored away in Juventus. He scored away at Chelsea.
Yeah, but I'm saying a few too many times. I would say he's been guilty of it. But I thought yesterday he really, really showed up. It's not the first time he showed up away in a big game, but I think away
at Man City, that was a massive goal.
Away at Old Trafford, it's the first time he's definitely shown up at Old Trafford, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was the first time any of our players have shown up at Old Trafford.
And I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. He set up the second goal for Lucas. with a lovely cutback. You can always rely on him to provide quality in those positions. The amount of times he was controlling things in the centre, playing these little dink passes into the penalty area, finding Lucas, finding Kane. Trippier was finding him in really good positions. He was running things really, and for the umpteenth time in his Spurs career, he ran the most out of anyone on the pitch. He does that all the time.
And when you actually think about that stat and you watch the game and you saw how much Lucas Moura was running last night, that just shows you how much the guy runs. Because Lucas Moura literally did not stop for the whole game.
Exactly. He was part of the press when he won the ball off Matic, which set up Dele Alli to go through. He was just central to everything we were all about. Even in the first half, he had that shot that tested De Gea a bit on his left foot. He's just a phenomenal player. We're so lucky that he's been at Spurs for so long, and none of the big clubs have come calling for him. He's still at Spurs. He's going to be hopefully at Spurs for a while. And what a player he is.
Thanks, Why? I think you should tell all your friends to subscribe, and then maybe we'll get there.
One day. But Eriksen, he's unlucky not to get man of the match in this game.
Yeah, but when you look at Lucas's performance, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But when you look at it and you saw how many times Dele, Eriksen and Lucas were winning the ball back in their third part of the pitch was absolutely mad. When do you see that kind of stuff at Old Trafford?
Hardly ever. He really stamped authority. I think Eriksen really came into his own yesterday. Sony's sensation. Chilly, he's been watching expressions.
Yeah, that's the one thing we need to sort out is this Eriksen contract.
Sandthrup? Sorry, I don't know how's that. There's rumours that the contract has stalled. I don't know if it's true or not. Obviously, it's come from the Daily Mail. But if it is true that Spurs don't rate Eriksen in accordance with their highest earners, then it's a farce. That's a joke.
Let's not bring this negativity into our...
Eriksen is one of our most important players, if not the most important player. So
Eriksen's one of the best in his position in the world.
Yeah, I would say top 5 in his position for sure. So if they don't see the quality of Eriksen, I don't know who would. He has to be worth.
Name me 4 better players in his position in the world.
De Bruyne.
Yeah.
David Silva.
Yeah.
Coutinho?
No. No, you can't say Coutinho is better than Eriksen, I'm sorry.
Who else would you say better than Eriksen?
In the comments below, name apart from De Bruyne and David Silva, name me a player that's better than Eriksen in the world. He's more of a striker.
Yeah, he's more of a striker. It's hard. It's hard to think of some.
Hazard, no, that's not the same position.
Isco
potentially.
You could argue Isco.
Potentially Isco. Messi, no.
Forget Messi.
No, Messi, Dybala, different positions.
Tough one.
Anyway, top 3 then.
Top 3 looks like Eriksen better than Modric. He could take the Modric position.
Yeah, Modric is at the moment they're different positions. Sissoko, there we found it.
Found it. All right, he's out the top 5. Bale.
No, these guys are all different positions. We're talking about a guy who sits in between the midfield and the strike force.
Yeah, right. All right, moving on to Harry Kane. We gave Harry Kane a 7. He got his goal at Old Trafford.
Very, very similar to that Arsenal goal, wasn't it?
For that header.
Dangled in the air
and just guided it. It's a
beautiful header. Looped header over into the far corner.
It was a beautiful header, and Gary Neville was analysing. Okay, was it Gary Neville or maybe it's Andy Gray? I was watching some analysis on YouTube, and they were saying how Kane just caught the flight of the ball before Phil Jones, made that little movement. Phil Jones couldn't really do anything, and he didn't even need a lot of power. Just guided it, looped into the far corner, getting his first goal ever at Old Trafford. In terms of his overall play, I thought it was pretty well snuffed out, I thought, from the United centre-backs. They were on him like a rash every time.
They tried to do a number on him, and it kind of worked. But at the end of the day, he got that goal.
His quality
and that was the kind of all-important goal, wasn't it, that first goal?
Yeah, for sure. It changed the game. Once we got that goal, completely changed the game. Made us not needing to dominate possession. We could hit them on the counter-attack, and it played into our hands a lot. It was a lovely assist, I thought, for our third goal. Lovely little ball to Lucas, set us up. And I thought overall he was a decent display. I'll have to give credit to the United defenders in terms of I thought they shackled him well. But I think what was ultimately their undoing is maybe they spent too much attention on him. And I felt like
it freed up Lucas big time.
Exactly,
Didn't it?
freed up Lucas. Ericsson ran free a couple of times that led to a goal. So and then that's what I've been saying for a while is that Kane sometimes does get snuffed out. I feel like when he gets snuffed out, we don't have that option. A lot of the times we fail to have that option to break the lines in terms of other players getting involved. So that's what we need to do. If Eriksen's getting snuffed out, that means it's leaving space for other players. And that means we have good players here who should be take advantage of that space. And that's exactly what happened.
But it works so well, especially with Lucas, just because of his sheer pace, you know? The guy is...
Let's go on to Lucas. Let's go on
in
to
the
Lucas.
words of expressions, Lucas more rapid, man. That is his name and nature.
Well, we gave Lucas a 9.
Yeah.
What a performance. I think this is really where Lucas has arrived in the Premier League. I think this is now, he is here. This is a guy who's going to be striking fear into Premier League defences from
2 weeks running
to come.
now, 9 out of 10s we've given him, 2 man of the match performances in a row.
He was great against Fulham, but I think he took it up a level this game.
So maybe he should have been given a 10.
Maybe he should have been given a 10. He was absolutely phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal. All day long, even in the first half, he was our best player.
Yeah.
He should have won a penalty. What a run that was when Phil Jones took him down. He went past 2-3 players. United couldn't get near him. That second goal, clinical finish, really arrogant, showing his technique, showing he's not just a fast player who doesn't have good technique, who doesn't have that whereabouts on the ball. Really clinical finish.
But that third goal.
That third goal was...
He left Chris Smalling for dead, made him look like a complete mug, went around him with ease.
He took the piss out of Smalling.
Completely took the piss.
Completely took the piss.
Literally, he ruined the poor guy's career.
And the funny thing is, Pochettino was about to take him off. And there's a reason. Maybe he thought Lucas was looking tired. Maybe he thought get that extra midfielder on.
And Danny Rose had to go off.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lucas, Rose was injured, so Davies came on. And luckily for us, Lucas stayed on because what a goal! What a goal that was, that third goal. We couldn't believe it. That little touch just when Smalling was sliding in, because he knew he was going to get there first. He was waiting for Smalling to slide just to get that little touch, get him through on goal. And again, what a finish that was, that third goal as well. Unbelievable, arrowing to the corner.
And also now, if you're comparing January transfers, you got Alexis against Lucas.
Which one's looking
Alexis
better now?
Sanchez is getting paid, what, 500 grand a week or something stupid?
And Lucas is getting a lot less than that.
How much should we pay for Lucas?
25 million? It's peanuts
Still,
in this market.
Absolute still. What a signing. You got to give it to Pochettino for signing him. Or
I think you got to give it to Pochettino, not just for signing him, but putting him up front.
Yeah.
What a move that looks like it's turning out to be, because you put him on the wing and he looks just a lot less dangerous in terms of he's using his pace to get in on goal in terms of rather than getting to the byline. And clearly, if he can finish like he did yesterday with those 2 clinical finishes, he could be a clinical striker. And if he's using that pace to get beyond defenders and using that finish, I think it could be a real stroke of genius by Pochettino to put him up front as opposed to on the wing.
I love the guy, Lucas. For years and years, I've been playing with him on FIFA, and just like storming down the wing with PSG. Like even if he doesn't get into his first team, I always used to play him. I love the guy so much. Like I think he's going to be an absolutely amazing player for us.
The thing is, he's come to this country.
Now that is a debate, Lucas or Son.
Vecchioni.
Either way, I can't choose between the two, but either way, if you have one of them on the bench to bring on, what a change that makes for us. Because if you look at our bench yesterday, Lamela got injured in the warm-up. We had no one really attacking-wise to bring on.
No.
You had a bench of Aurier, Winks and Llorente pretty much.
And Davis and yeah. Not much. And
you have no one to bring on. But when Son comes back, we're going to have either Lucas or Son on the bench.
It's going to be a real dilemma. If Lucas keeps playing like this, we're going to have Lucas, Son, Dele, Ericsson all fighting for 3 positions.
And Lamela.
All fighting. And if they're all at the top of the game, people say we don't have attacking options. Maybe we do.
I think we definitely do.
And what I was going to say about Lucas, one more thing, is we signed him and he had a kind of reputation as a skillful player with no end product. And clearly that's doesn't look like
3 goals already this season.
But no, not just he scored 3 goals. Look at the finishes.
Yeah.
Look how clinical they've been. Look how quality they've been. It's shown great technique. It's not just like scuff shots or something. Really clinical, sweetly struck shots into the corner of the net. And if he can, as I was saying, if he can finish like that, We have a real player on our hands.
How the mood has changed with Spurs fans within the space of a week. It's crazy.
It's how, listen, this win at Old Trafford's always going to get all the fans at high spirits. Let's move on to Pochettino. We gave him an 8.
Could have been a 9.
We gave him an 8 just because of that first 30 minutes. We did get outplayed a bit. We could have been behind. We could have no complaints. We went into half time 1-2 down.
But lineup was absolutely spot on. It's the lineup that I wanted. I put in Davis instead of Rose.
Well, you say it's the lineup you wanted in terms of personnel, yes, but in terms of formation,
it was a different,
very different
formation.
Very different formation.
In terms of personnel, that was the kind of who I wanted. I said Sanchez should be on the bench for this game and bring back the Belgian barrier, which he did. And we played a kind of, what was it, a 4-4-2 diamond formation.
Yeah, it was a kind of a diamond formation with kind of Dele at the tip of the diamond with Lucas and Kane up front with Eriksen, Dembele and Dyer kind of floating around.
Oh, thanks, Eric. We love you too, man.
Yeah, Pochettino's lineup was excellent, says Chile. So Pochettino did well in terms of personnel. I think we did struggle in the first half, and I think Man United had their hair tactics spot on.
But at the end of the day, we also had our chances in that first half.
We had a couple of chances. We did have a few chances.
We didn't make the most out of our chances either.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously,
we should have had a penalty.
We should have had a penalty. Obviously, their chances were a lot more clear cut.
Just because Lukaku had a penalty,
like open goals and free headers and stuff in the box. But I still think we had our fair share of chances, mainly down to Lucas, Dele, and Eriksen.
But I feel like the truth is that they did dominate the ball.
Oh, sure.
And they also looked more threatening than we did.
It was the midfield. I thought Pogba was absolutely sensational in that first half.
I think
the second half he was awful.
I think we got caught by surprise in terms of they played Herrera in the back three. We didn't see that coming. And I think it did work a treat in that first half, but I think we worked it out. I think we once we figured out how they were setting up, we figured out what's going on. I think we managed the game really well. And go on, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that when we first saw the Man U lineup, we thought they were going to completely park the bus, but it wasn't like that. They actually came at us in that first half, which was very surprising. And credit to Poch, second half he drilled it into them second half and changed a few things, and we came out storming.
But what was one of their big strengths in the first half was, in terms of United, having that formation 3 at the back actually turned out to be their biggest weakness in the second half once we found out what was going on. And I think it's good game management from Pochettino, sticking with the team, not panicking. Some managers would have changed it at half time, thinking, oh, it's not working, let's just change formation. He didn't. He stuck to his guns. He believed it was going to work, and it turned out to be absolutely right. And it's now, last week against Fulham, he did change it and it worked. This time he didn't change it and it worked. So more props to Pochettino for that. More great game management. He seems to be working on it. He seems to be working well. And I think a lot of times people...
I love Poch. I love Poch.
Absolutely love Pochettino. And those hugs at the end, he should get an extra point for those.
That one for Hugo should get an extra 3
points. Exactly, 100%. And I think just what he says, how he says it, he always says the right things, Pochettino. I love the way he says things. And if we're going to achieve anything this season, it's all down to him because we need him. He's the difference maker for us.
That I can't actually remember what exactly was said, but his post-match press conference, I just have a proper man crush on the guy. He just says the right things at the right time. Oh,
honestly, I wouldn't want any other manager in the world right now than Pochettino.
It's going to be a sad day when he leaves the club.
Listen, he said he wants to do a Ferguson. He wants to be here for 20 years.
In 20 years, it's going to be a sad day then.
It's going to be a sad... You're right. But I've never felt this way about a manager
Since Martial.
Since Martial. Big Martial. I used to love the guy. But
I thought I could never love a manager more than Martial, but this guy is
the only reason at this point in time, the whole Spurs fan base is so together. We believe in this team. We love this team so much. It's all down to Pochettino. It really is. He has brought this team together. He has made this core of players just believe in each other, believe in the system, and the way he is with the fans, he is with the players. He's so lovable, and I think he's improving as a manager year by year. And I think again, it's showing now that he's improving his game management a bit more. And it proved again this week.
And he's just making rival fans just jealous. You know, you're looking at Man United, they all hate Mourinho. They're looking at us with Pochettino and they're like, get Pochettino in, you know what I mean?
I asked Flex, would you swap squads? He said no, but I'll talk to the manager.
Yeah.
They all want Pochettino. And it shows a lot. They all say all this rubbish, oh, he hasn't won anything, blah, 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 but they all want him. There's a reason why he's linked to all the biggest clubs, because he's doing just a fantastic job. And everyone...
It's just time to bring home those trophies now, Mr. Poch.
Let's no bones about it, it's time. He's been here 5 years now. We can see the quality in our team, there's no doubt about it. We need to get some silverware to really show that this team is as good as we say it is.
Yeah. And one more note of last night, the fans. The atmosphere last night in the away end was absolutely insane.
Mary, Spurs should sign Sim. I'll take it. Listen, I'll get an offer. I'm open to offers.
I'm sure he'll do a better job at left back than Danny Rose.
I'm open to offers. The fans were absolutely incredible. What
song after song, it didn't matter if we were 1-0 up, 0-0, if United were attacking us, the fans pretty much didn't stop singing the whole game. I've got a voice now, but when I came back yesterday, my throat was hurting big time.
There were scenes in that away, and especially where it showed how much it meant to the fans yesterday. Once winning 3-0 at Old Trafford does not happen every year, and it was just so important that we came and put in a performance like that, and the fans were unbelievable. That it really meant a lot to us.
Yeah, apparently at half time, Pochettino just goes into the training room and goes, "It's only Man United."
Man United, lads. And also, you could see how much the players really appreciated the fans yesterday. They really came over, gave us a good ovation yesterday. Sometimes it's a bit short and shrift, but they really felt like they came over and showed their appreciation. And it was this at the moment. The club's in a good place. We just need to keep this good feeling. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be on the pitch, because off the pitch, it's not going to happen, is it? So. On the pitch, this is where it's at the moment, and we're all so delighted watching this team week in, week out. We're really getting good value for money for how we're playing at the moment. So we've got to keep it up.
And a special mention to the Man U fans. I don't think I saw a Man U fan after 75 minutes yesterday. They were crawling out. It looked like there was a bloody fire alarm on the 75th minute after Lucas scored that goal.
Well, he probably put a fire on, didn't he? Lucas? He was on fire. I wouldn't be surprised, because wow, what a goal that was to end the game. But unbelievable performance for Spurs, unbelievable from the fans. It was a great day, and it's a day that I live long in the memory, that's for sure.
Well, if you haven't noticed, we've started doing fan cams at every game. So if you want to get on the fan cam after the game, just slide into our DMs on Twitter and we can arrange that.
For sure. White Roadster. How do you stream from your phone? It's on YouTube.
You go on the YouTube app and you click.
You need 1,000 subs if you want to stream. I
do you?
I think if you want to be able to live stream, you need 1,000 subs. Toby Solid, do you think he'll sign a new contract?
It remains to be seen at the moment. Nobody really knows.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm not counting my chickens just yet. I think, honestly, if we have a good season, if we win a trophy, if we're in a serious title challenge, maybe we can convince him. But we have to pay the money. He's worth the money. Let's be honest. He's worth the money. I don't know why we don't pay it, but we've said that before. It's been over. It's been done with. I think he's a pro. I said that in the United preview. I was saying, are you worried about Toby this season? Is he going to downplay? I was like, no, Toby's a pro. It's contract situation, no contract situation. He's going to be playing. He'll play for the shirt. No worries about that. I'm not worried about how he'll play. I'm just worried about whether we can keep him.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's a shite. That's a good way to end it.
Well, that's our roundup. Like, subscribe, comment if you like our content. And as always, come on Spurs!